So once again, given a quadratic, we're asked to graph it by using its properties. It's going to be more of the same as far as the process is concerned. We'll encounter something different, trying to cover as many bases as we can as far as what you might encounter when you're graphing by properties. So again, we'll start off as usual with the axis of symmetry. So axis of symmetry. And remember, that is our formula, at least for vertical parabolas, ones that open up or down. And the leading coefficient is positive, so we'll recognize it opens up. The axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. Then equals negative 10 over 2 times 5. A is 5, b is 10 in our given equation. So that's 10 over 10, so negative 1. So our axis of symmetry is negative 1. Our vertex is at that x value. So we know it's negative 1, and then f of negative 1 equals 5 times negative 1 squared plus 10 times negative 1 plus 3. That equals 5 times 1 is 5, minus 10 is negative 5, plus 3 is negative 2. So you know the vertex is at negative 1, negative 2. So negative 1, negative 2. We know it opens up, so that means there should be x-intercepts. We'll go ahead and start with our y-intercept. That's when x equals 0, so f of 0 equals 5 times 0 plus 10 times 0 plus 3. So our y-intercept is at 0, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Now we could, because our vertex is at negative 1, negative 2. By symmetry, we know there's a point at, since the y-intercept is 0, 3, that's 1 to the right, so 1 to the left, and at the same vertical height. So we know that there's a point at negative 2, 3 as well. So technically, we could go ahead and graph this at this point, but we only have 3 points. We're going to find the x-intercepts just because that is part of the process, even though this will not factor, which means we have to use the quadratic formula. So that gives us x equals negative b, so negative 10, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 10 squared minus 4 times a, so 4 times 5, times c, which is 3 in this case, all over 2a, which is 2 times 5. That equals negative 10 plus or minus the square root of, let's see, 10 squared is 100, 4 times 5 times 3, that's 20 times 3 is 60, 100 minus 60 is 40. That's all over 10. So that equals negative 10 plus or minus, simplifying the square root of 40, that's 4 times 10. So that'd be 2 times the square root of 10. The square root of 4 is 2. So 2 times the square root of 10, all over 10. And then last but not least, at least for an exact answer, that's going to simplify to negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 10 divided by 10 divided by 2 is 5 as well. So we just divided everything by 2, all parts by 2. Now, if we take decimal approximations of that, so x is approximately negative 5 minus the square root of 10 divided by 5 is approximately negative 1.632. Or negative 5 plus the square root of 10 divided by 5 is approximately negative 0.368. So if we graph those on our graph, we're looking at 0, or we're looking at negative 1.6320, so negative 1.6320, so right about here. And 0, or a negative 3.68, or negative 0.368, which would be right about here, not quite half, but past 1/3. And then we would connect the dots to get our parabola. Put arrows on the end to indicate end behavior. So there's the graph of f of x equals 5x squared plus 10x plus 3. Using its properties, we found the axis of symmetry, the vertex, and then the intercepts, and then we quote unquote connected the dots. We also found one point based on the axis of symmetry and the y-intercept.